Hi, everyone. This is Mrs. Haynam. I'm the library media specialist here at Kimpton, and your teachers have asked me to create a video for you explaining our online databases, how they work, how you get to them. And I've done this 4 times now. I've tried to make this video. So if I have some little mistakes, whatever, I'm just going to roll with it because at this point, I need to get this done for you so you can use it. But the first thing I want to explain to you is what an online database is. I think it's really important that you have a little bit of an idea of the concept of it. So, an online database is online and it's a compilation of information. So, they've taken articles and newspapers and journals and books and websites that are really, really good, and they've put them all in one place because they've got great, reliable information in them. We pay for an online database. Having access to that good information is really important, and the district pays for that. So it's important that you understand that when you're in an online database, it's not the same as Googling something. So when you get online and you hop on Google and you say, tell me about the history of football, it's a lot different because you're on the internet and anyone can put anything on the internet. When you're in an online database, the information that you're accessing is published and reliable. We call it vetted. It means it's good information. It's going to be something that you're going to use for research rather than just going out to the internet and capturing any website with any information that you can. So that's the first thing. What is an online database? The second thing is, how do you get to it? So I'm going to show you two, and I'm going to use Clever for both of them. And I know not everyone loves Clever, but I think it's a great place to start because you're inside Stowe's, domain network already, and that gives you better access. I'm going to make my image a little smaller here so I can actually show you some web pages. So I'm going to go ahead and go to Clever. You guys might already be logged into Clever when you log onto your computer, but I was not. So I'm going to go in as a teacher, and it knows who I am, so it just went ahead and put me straight in. Now, I will tell you that I went ahead and I favorited, by clicking this little heart up here, the online databases that I use a lot. So you can see INFOhio is one that I'm going to show you today. And then this other one that I'm going to show you today is called the Gale Research Database. So if you're doing this along with me, if your teacher has asked that you do this at the same time as I do, go ahead and get into this Gale Research Database. Now, I will tell you, I've already logged into this database today because, like I said, I've tried to make this video 4 times. So normally when you log in for the first time on your computer on whatever day, it's going to ask you for a password. The password is Bulldogs, plural, lowercase. So there's no capital. It's just the word Bulldogs. I do want to show you when you get here. So you're in, this is the Gale in Context online database. If you scroll down here, you can see that they've taken some information and they've gathered them together by topic. So I know different people will be doing different kinds of research. I know Mrs. Heiner's class at some point gets to do absolute open research. You get to choose your topic. I know several 7th grade classes will have to do a biography research. So you might be looking for a person. So I'm going to start by just clicking on this grouping here that says people. And you can see they've taken probably the most popular people. This is not their entire database of options, but some of their most popular people, and they have actually created a list. So if it's like you have to research a person, who could you research? You could go here and find someone that you might not know anything about, or a name that kind of rings a bell for you. For instance, Elon Musk. I think Elon Musk is the guy who invented the Tesla. Yes, he is. Okay. When you click on that person, oh wait, he's not. Nikola Tesla must be the guy who invented the Tesla, but it looks like they do research together because they're related. So when you click on a person, you'll see, so this is Elon Musk inside the Gale database, and you can see that there are 5 reference articles, and there are 5 biographies, and there are 33 magazine articles, and 23 images, and 471 news articles. So if you knew for sure that you wanted to read a biography on him, you could go straight to biographies. And if you knew for sure that you wanted to read a magazine article, we know that magazine articles are usually a little bit longer than newspaper articles. You probably would go to magazines. These reference articles are going to be really, really, really brief. They're going to be like an entry in an encyclopedia. So just a reference to Elon Musk. I'm going to go ahead and click on magazines because I want to show you what it looks like inside the database. Okay, so I clicked on these. There are 33 magazine articles that all mention Elon Musk. And if I scroll down, I can read the title of the magazine and just a little blurb about it. And you can kind of get an idea by scrolling through what you think would be important. Okay. Elon Musk is the co-founder and CEO of Tesla Motors. Okay. So this is interesting. This looks like a pretty short article. It has 719 words. I could click on this article and it's going to tell me who he is, maybe, and what he's done. Okay. It's not an incredibly long article. If I was trying to get some basic information about Elon Musk, this might be something I really, really like. If I need a little bit more in-depth information, I might say, you know what? I don't really love this one. I'm going to go back up here to my results and I'm going to check out something else, maybe a little bit longer. So, know before you go. That's about space exploration. I don't know about that. Ludicrous mode. Musk colonizes the Bel Air. What do I want to know about him? A humongous rocket that just might work. It looks like Elon Musk is also having something to do with space exploration. This might be really interesting to me if I was going to do a biography on him and I wanted, a part of my paper to be about this space exploration that he's doing. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this one because I think this one might be good for what I'm doing. You can see that you have lots of options once you get in here and you're actually looking at an article. You can make the font size smaller. You can make the font size bigger. You can translate this article into a different language. So if English is not your native language, then you can translate into hopefully something that is easier for you to comprehend. You also can, if you're on your home computer, you could download this if you wanted to save it. You could print it. You could send it to yourself. You can throw it into your Google Drive. Now, I'm going to suggest, because we're trying to be conservative with paper, we're trying to actually be safe with COVID right now, I would suggest sending this article, if you really like it, to your Google Drive. And what that's going to do is it's going to make sure that you aren't losing this information. So if you need to read it, and you need to take notes on it and you need to reference it. So maybe you want to, again, talk about Elon Musk's space exploration in your paper, then you're going to want to be able to come back to it again and again. So I'm going to suggest that you send it to Google Drive. And I'm going to do that in 1 second and show you what it looks like. But before I do that, I want to scroll all the way to the end of this. Oh, it has some cool imagery. And I want to talk to you about what you're looking at right here. Now, this will not be applicable for every single person who's doing research and watching this video, but I want to tell you, if your teachers are requiring that you cite your source, and that means you use a bibliography and you are actually going to use that specific format, to say where you found this information, that's called citing your source. If you have to do that, the Gale online database gives you the citation for each article that they have. I mean, at some point you may have to do them from scratch. Your teacher may make you start from the very beginning and say, who's the author? What's the last name, comma, first name, period. But Gale does give it to you. So if you're using this research paper, when you put it into your Google Drive, It's going to take the source citation with it, so you don't have to copy and paste it. But when you're ready to do your bibliography or your works cited page at the end of your research paper, this can literally just be copied and pasted. And most of you probably know that the keystroke for copy is Control C, and then the keystroke for paste is Control V. So if you needed to have this for your bibliography, you could take it right now and you could put it on your bibliography or your works cited page. I have the option at the end of this article. So remember, I showed you at the beginning the option to put it into Google Drive. And I'm going to go ahead and put it in Google Drive right now. It's asking me who I am. This is who I am. Okay, so it's telling me the document has been sent to your Google Drive and it will appear shortly. Now it leaves me here in my research. And that's a good thing because probably one article isn't enough to fulfill what my teachers want for my research. So maybe your teachers say to you that they want you to get 3 or 4 resources that you're going to use from this online database for your research. So you could go back at this point and you can look at those research options again, and you can go through some more and scroll through and what might be interesting in here that I want to know about Elon Musk. I want to go back, all the way back to the beginning of Gale. So I'm going to come up here like this and I'm going to go to Gale in context. I want to show you, rather than choosing a topic that's already here, I want to show you how you can do a search for a topic. And there's a couple really important things about showing you how to do a search in here. The first thing that I have to tell you is that Gale is different than Google. So we talked a little bit about Google at the beginning of this video and how, Google's super smart. And they've created Google to help people, even if they don't know how to spell something, for instance, okay? You can talk to Google and usually Google's going to spell the word correctly. So if you were looking up Elon Musk or Ruth Bader Ginsburg or someone on Google and you either talk to it or you just put it in and you spelled it wrong, Google's going to fix that for you. In the Gale online database, you have to spell things correctly in order for them to find what you're looking for. So if you spelled Elon Musk incorrectly, it would not look it up for you. The other thing is you can't ask Gale a question. So for instance, a lot of times boys especially love to research football. It's like, it's fall, we're doing research, I'm going to research football. So football, you can't go to Gale and say, tell me the history of football, because it doesn't answer questions like that. It doesn't respond to long strings of words like that. It looks for specific search terms. So I'm just going to show you what it would look like if we searched football in Gale. Okay. If you search football in Gale, you are going to get a lot of information because it's really, really, really a general topic. And it's probably going to be really hard to write a paper that's football. Like, you kind of have to decide, what do you want to say about football? Do you want to talk about the history of the NFL? Do you want to talk about a specific player or team? Maybe you want to talk about overcoming injuries in football, something really a lot more specific. Because right now, if you look up football, you have, and I know you're seeing this too, but you have 186 magazine articles. I actually thought that number would be a lot higher. You have 14,000 images in here of players and teams and whatever else. You have 11 reference articles, 749 newspaper articles that they're telling you talk about football right now. I think if it were me, I would use an advanced search. So if you can see up here, I've never seen that survey thing that just keeps popping up down here before. It must be new. I'm going to go to this search bar again, and I'm going to click advanced search. Okay. Now I'm going to tell you right now, if you are in 7th grade, you have no idea who I am and you've never met me. But if you're in 8th grade, you'll know that I know absolutely nothing about football. I've never watched football. I've never played football. So I know nothing. But I will tell you this. If I was going to do an advanced search, I might put in here football, and then I might say, since we're here in Cleveland, I might say Cleveland Browns. And I could even put something else. Like I could say not, and I could say a player's name. I don't want to know anything about the history of the Cleveland Browns or whatever. You can switch these over here. But right now, let's just see what I find out about football and the Cleveland Browns. Okay. So right now, researching the football and the Cleveland Browns, I have 153 magazine articles and 5 references and whatever. 986 newspaper articles. That's pretty cool. So what I like to do again is I really like to look at the magazine articles. I think magazine articles are good because I like it when they have pictures. And I like the fact that it's got more information than a newspaper article. So I'm going to go ahead and click magazines again. And I'm just going to go scroll down through here. And I'm going to say, okay, if I was going to talk about the Cleveland Browns as a team or as an organization, what would be interesting to me in a paper? So I'm just going to scroll down. The Browns have their first Black coach. That might be really interesting. That's a timely topic. And it might be something I wanted to add in my research paper. So if I clicked on this, I can see, I even have a picture here. This is a really, really short article. It's like a little reference, but it might make for a good paragraph in my paper, to take this information, put it in my own words and use it. If I liked it, again, I would go ahead and I would use this button right here and I would send it to Google Drive. I can see down here that this is the source citation for this. And I didn't mention this before, but I'll go ahead and say it now. When you're in middle school and probably even in high school still, you're going to be typically using MLA format. That stands for Modern Language Association. And different organizations have come up with different formats for source citation. And that's typically the one that we use in schools. They do give you other options. So make sure that you understand if you would click on one of those other options, you're not going to be using the format that your teacher wants for you. And you can double check that with your teacher, but I'm going to assume that they want you to use MLA format. It's the most common in all levels of education. So if I really like this, I would send it to my Google Drive. Now I'm going to show you in Google Drive. One second. You can, before I move on, you can, if you're reading this, take some notes like on the article, and you could then send those notes to yourself. So when you upload the article into your Google Drive, the notes that you created on it would stay on there. It's just a really interesting element of the research process. If you're not already signed in with Google, it may ask you to sign in with Google when you say to send it to your Google Drive. So let's see what this article looks like in my Google Drive. When I go to Google Drive and I go to recent, this is it. Ooh, we just learned an important lesson today, and I did it accidentally. This is a great thing that you should know. I'm looking at the article that I thought I sent to my Google Drive, but really I only sent the source citation. So this is important. I'm going to go back and show you again what I did. It must be, this is a new feature. If you click from the top, we're going to try it on here. If you click from up here, this must send the entire article to Google Drive. So we're going to do that. But if you click down here inside this citation box, it must just send the source citation. So all I did now was on this one, which is the article Brown's First Black Coach, I sent from the top up here, I sent it to Google Drive. So let's see what went. Okay, really important to know. Awesome. Okay, so When you send your article from the top of the article to Google Drive, you're sending the entire article. When you go down to that source citation at the end and you send that to Google Drive, it's just the citation. So this is the article, and the citation is on it when you send the entire article. You can see it's here at the end. So again, you would just copy, once you open this in Google, in Docs, you would just copy and paste it onto your works cited page or your bibliography. Okay. So this is the Gale in context research database. Now I'm going back to Clever. I'm going to get rid of these actually. Like this and like this. I'm going to go back to Clever. I want to show you INFOhio's iSearch. INFOhio's iSearch is the state of Ohio created all of these research elements for the entire state of Ohio, every public school for free. Sorry. I'm going to go ahead and click on grades 6 through 8 right here. And each one of these is its own online database. You aren't going to want to filter through all of these unless you're looking for something very, very, very specific. Like, for instance, this is a science database, and you know you need science information. This one's health. This one's a biography reference bank. You could click on those if you specifically know I need a biography, if you specifically know I need a science article. But I'm going to suggest that you try iSearch. iSearch is right here in the middle. It's got this little magnifying glass kind of icon, and iSearch looks like this. When you search iSearch on Stowe property, like they know I'm at Stowe right now because I'm on the network, this will come up here. Okay. Now, from home, from your Chromebook, if you're logged into your Stowe Google account, this may also be true for you at home. It may ask you to tell what school you are with. So our username and password for iSearch is username Stowe, password Bulldogs. Stowe Bulldogs. Let me show you what you're looking at right now. iSearch will literally search every possible element of information that you have access to. So the first thing that you can see here, you can see these tabs. These tabs across the top are really important. I'm going to search the Cleveland Browns again. And if I search the Cleveland Browns, I'm going to get a ton of information. But I'm going to tell you right now, you need to be a little bit more specific about what you're doing here. So right up here, this is my library tab. These are books that can be found in a school library at Stowe. They're not all at Kimpton. If they were, if we were at Kimpton, let's see, view all. I'm going to Kimpton's not even on here. Whoa. Okay, that's something I have to deal with. So let's just say that Kimpton was on here. You would choose Kimpton. It's really weird that it's not. I'm going to make a note. Sorry about that. I'm going to choose Stowe High School. So let's just say that Kimpton was on here. It would look like this. Okay. All right. So this is what's available on the Cleveland Browns in the library at Stowe High School. If we had Kimpton there, you would see what we have available in our library here. These tabs across the top give you different kinds of information. These are going to be digital. This is these are encyclopedias. Basic sources are going to be things like really, really brief reference articles or maybe newspaper articles. I always suggest to students at this level who are doing research to go to advanced sources. So I'm going to click on it like this, okay? And you can see the titles of the articles come up here, and You can scroll down through them and you can see what they are. So this one is called Cleveland Rocks, but it isn't necessarily about the Cleveland Browns. Can you see this highlighted Cleveland here? So it took my 2 search terms, Cleveland Browns, and it searched for all of them. And so some of these are just going to be about Cleveland. Down here, this is a Sports Illustrated article about the Cleveland Browns. This might be a really great article. Looks like it's 2 pages, and I'm going to go ahead and go over here. I think this one's interesting to me. I'm going to view or download this particular article. Okay. Once you're in here, this is what it looks like. Okay. Something that I like to share with students that I think is interesting is over here. Sometimes articles in iSearch are available in 2 different kinds of formats. One of them is HTML, and that's just typed word. It's like if someone went in and just retyped the article. But some of them are available as a PDF. And I personally love to see them as a PDF because you're going to get it's going to look exactly the way it looked when it was published. So if it's a published magazine article, it's going to come with pictures and page numbers and stuff like that. So I'm going to go ahead and click on PDF full text. I want to see what this looked like when it was published. Okay, so these are the actual images of the pages from Sports Illustrated, and I think it's cool because here we even have a picture. So this is the article. If I were doing my research paper on the Cleveland Browns, this might be really interesting to me. It talks about a rookie class that is a hopeful, winning season for Cleveland. If I really liked this, I could print it. I'm going to show you what else I can do with it. I'm going to close this PDF view of it. Okay, so this is the one I had from Sports Illustrated. Over here on the right-hand side, you have almost all of the same exact options that you had in that Gale database. They mirror each other. They are probably created by the same people. But you have the option of dropping this article into Google Drive. Before I do that, because I want to show you what it looks like, I want to scroll all the way to the bottom and double check the source citation. I want to see if, you still have to go over here for it. Okay, so I can send this article to Google Drive. I know I can do that. I'm going to do that right now because I want to show you what it looks like. Okay. I'm going to go look at it because I want to see if the source citation came with it, because that would be a nice feature and I would like for you to be able to have that. Okay. All right, here's the Cleveland Browns article. It just uploaded to my Google Drive. I'm going to take a look at it. I've got a bad feeling. I've got a feeling it's not going to have its source citation with it. All right, it does not have a source citation with it. So remember, when we talk about source citation, we're talking about that works cited page at the end of your paper where you're listing where this article came from, who's the author, where was it published, what was the date, all of that fun stuff. The article's here and that's great and I can use it, but I really am going to need that source citation. So I'm going back to the article, just clicked across the tab here. And I have this option right here that says cite. Okay, so I'm going to keep using these words over and over and over again until you get used to them. So this is the source citation. So if I click on this, INFOhio, iSearch, is going to tell me how to cite this article. Now, it looks to me, you get to see, it looks to me like you have to scroll down to get the format that you need to use. So I told you earlier, I'm just reminding you again, that most of the time in education, you're going to use that MLA format. And that right there is MLA format. And here's your works cited. So you could copy and paste this right now onto a document that you start that's going to have your bibliography or your works cited, your source citation. Really important that you do that while you're here, because if you just upload your article to Google Drive and you don't have the source citation, then you're either going to have to come back into iSearch and look it up again, or you're going to have to figure it out. Like, what's the author's last name? What's the author's first name? What's the title of the article? Where did I find it? How do you do it? So I'm going to make the suggestion that you make sure you grab those citations while you're in here. Let me see. What else do I need you to know on this video? Okay. I hope that you don't have a lot of questions about how to do online research. I'm hoping that this is really self-explanatory. Today, I shared with you information about what an online database is and why we encourage students to use it. It's got good, reliable information, and we want to do that when we conduct research. We want it to come from a good, reliable source. I showed you how to get into your Clever, and you can favorite the things that you use. So if you plan to use some online research frequently, you might favorite those databases and move them to the top of your Clever page. I shared with you the Gale online database that we use here at Stowe. And I told you that the password for Gale online database is Bulldogs with a lowercase b and definitely an S. It's plural. I showed you how to do research in there, both by choosing a topic and also by searching on your own, any topic you want. I showed you how to upload that article into your Google Drive and how to make sure that you get the source citation with it. I also went back to Clever after I talked about Gale, and I talked about the free online resources from the state of Ohio called INFOhio. I showed you how to click on that INFOhio tab and how to open an iSearch. So when you opened that INFOhio tab and you were in there, you were looking at a lot of online databases. I kind of showed you that some of them are medical, some of them are science. And I showed you the iSearch, where you can then specifically search your library, or you can search for short reference articles, or you can search for longer advanced sources. I hope you really enjoy doing research. I know not everyone loves it, but I love doing research because I like to learn new things. I would love to answer any questions you have. Guys, my email is st_l Haynam, HAYNAM smfcsd.org. So if you want to find me, you can find me that way and ask questions, or your language arts teacher can help you as well. I thank you so much for watching this video today. Have a great day and enjoy your online research.